Did you know that there's unusual ways for you to get paid for your voice? Let's go over this right after this intro. Join me in my mission to help put at least 50,000 music artists on the right track to be independently successful with their music, to turn the talent that they have with their voice into gold. My name is Billy Nellis, and welcome to the Golden Voice Podcast. Boom. Okay, so something special is about to happen right here, and I had to bring on a special guest for this. And it's going to be the first lady on the Golden Voice podcast. She's pretty awesome. Met her on social media, and she leads with value the same way that I lead with value. She was an artist before, and she figured out ways to make it work with her passion and by also leading with value to help the artist community. So I'm going to have to put my golden headphones for this one. So let me introduce to the Golden Voice podcast my good friend, Big Soph. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing awesome. It's great to see you on the Golden Voice podcast. There's no ladies that came on here as a guest, so you're the first that broke that ice. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I love the Indie Artist Summit, so let's see what we can do.
Awesome, awesome. So, real quickly, for some of the people that are going to be tuning in, I want you to go ahead and share a little bit about your story, and we'll go a little bit deeper about the unusual ways that a music artist can get paid for their voice. So, let's get into it.
All right. So I started as an artist, right? And I was releasing music. I was kind of just walking my way through the dark, trying to see like what am I supposed to do? Running into different service providers. We wound up getting distro deals with like the Orchard, E1, and Sony Red at the time or whatever, and um, released music through the labels. And I kind of learned how money worked. And then I learned that when labels have a lot of people, they don't necessarily always want to cut the checks in timely manners. And I would look at my peers and like see the lives they were leading and the stress they had, but all the passion that they were putting into their music, and it just wasn't sustainable. So I kind of put some of my stuff on hold and really studied, kept my head down, figured out how this worked. And now I know how money moves in the music industry. And I'm really passionate about teaching people that because I think that's what's going to, change our community for the better for everybody, not just artists.
Cool. This is dope because you're not only trying to help, but you've been there, you've done it, and now it's your turn to contribute and to share your experience. And for me, it's always to be one step ahead, right? If it's something that I'm learning, I'm also going to take action on it, and then I'm going to contribute by sharing that with someone else that can take action on that, and they can get results with that. I know you also run the Copious agency. Can you share a little bit about how that came about and what you actually do
Yeah.
for the artist community?
Yeah, for sure. So when I was learning the industry, as I would learn something, I would test it on my music and then I would offer it to others. So,
Right.
for example, music registration, setting up performing rights organizations, metadata encoding, which is all the stuff that goes into your music so that when it's played, it's actually tracked. And then I kept getting word of mouth referrals all the time because no one really offers those super boring services in the indie artist community at the time, where I didn't know a lot of people. So after so much time of doing those types of services, lyric videos, cover art, motion art for covers, I just opened the agency because it just made sense. So we still offer a lot of those. Today, I really focus on building the structures around artists so that they can run like a business, right? Because if once you get to a certain level as an artist, you have more inquiries than you can deal with. And frankly, it's just money sitting on the table that, maybe you haven't even checked for 4 weeks. And now, that show has passed and you didn't even know it was there. So we set up like automations and stuff behind different creators so that their work is more straightforward, it's more consolidated, and they can really focus on creating. Because when you're running a business, it sucks a little bit of creative juice out of you. So it's my mission within Copious Media is to offer people those resources and those structures so that they can kind of not set it and forget it, but reduce the amount of time they worry about their business side of their stuff.
Nice, because as a music artist, we It's a business at the end of the day. You know what I mean? The music is a product, and if the artist community is not going to understand that they're actually running a business, then it's just going to be an expensive hobby, so to speak. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I know that you also have a platform. I think that I saw on your website called Learn with Soph. I think the name is pretty
yeah.
dope as well. How that came about?
So it's actually Grow with Soph, but
Grow with
it's
Soph. Sorry
essentially,
about that.
yeah, no, you're all good. So I created some learning resources a couple years back. They had a couple different names, and as I kept learning, my the things I learned went from just music based to then business based. So I really wanted to come up with a name where, it fits my content, which may turn into whatever I achieve in 5 years.
Right.
Um, and also, I'm able to teach people about different things. So, for example, when I helped automate someone's Airbnb business, I put together a little thing that's like, hey, this is the nitty gritty of it. Know this before you even make a decision to go buy $1,000, $3,000 mentorship for Airbnb. Because in my journey of both musicianship and entrepreneurship, I would think I would want something, get it, and then be like, I don't really like this. So, and I think as musicians, and creatives in general, we're kind of more, we like to move around a little bit more. So I wanted to just kind of bring the people with me as I learned instead of getting to the top and then being like, this is what I did 5 years ago. So
Right.
that's how it came up with. And also, like, I just, I'm a resource for people around me physically, and I would just be giving so much game away. I was like, I'm not doing my mission and helping as many people as possible if I'm only doing it in real life, one to one. So I wanted to bring it online and let people kind of get a part of the community and, get exposed to people like yourself that are like minded and, aligned with what we're doing in the community now.
Nice. Community aspect is really important, especially when it comes to the music. If we can get people involved and actually document our journey as we're learning, I think that's pretty dope because I've also learned that from some of my mentors. It's all about documenting and people can kind of like follow you, but you just have to be one step ahead and share what
Mm-hmm.
it is that you're learning, take action on it, and you keep moving forward. Now, throughout your journey, and now we're getting a little bit more in the meat and potatoes of
Yeah.
this episode, is unusual ways to get paid or getting paid for your voice in unusual ways. I know there's a couple ways that you've discovered that you can share with whoever's going to be tuning into this. So let's get into it. What are some of those ways that an artist can, utilize without going too far left with, a good old job that may not have anything to do with their music or their
Yeah.
passion, or so called, but they can still make money and still grow their music career as they're moving forward and growing.
Yeah. So if you're looking for like aligned work as a musician, a rapper, a singer, and it's practice for you, you can always do voice-based work. And I encourage people, like, think about all the voices you hear outside of music every day. That
Nice.
means television commercials, that means ads, that means, all the other media we look at. So, for example, there's marketplaces for this kind of thing. The first one I'll talk about is Sound Better. So Sound Better is a marketplace where mostly indie industry level people are on, that need voice work. So they may be just needing a reference track. Maybe a producer or songwriter wrote a song for a female. He wants a reference track. He wants a girl to rap it. He'll give you, 150, $200. There's no publishing involved. It's not going to be released, but it is voice work. You're working your voice out and you're getting paid. Um, on that platform as well, they'll hire you for work for hire songs. They may have it written all the way. I got paid $1,500 to rap about COVID, and they gave it to me written, and I made sure that my name wasn't attached to it, and I got the check, and I was able to do something different. And those corporate jingles and stuff, those actually pay really high,
Wow.
like $1,500. Yeah, so like I had another place, they paid 1,500 for a car leasing jingle. It was like, it must have been a training for their like employees.
Mhm.
because it's about car leasing, but they're cutting 1,500. It's not attached to your artist name, guys. I will stress that. No one's gonna know. It's an internal song. Your friends are never gonna hear it, but your money still gets spent the right way. But that's on Sound Better. Definitely check that out. Register, put up a portfolio. People reach out, and you can bid for jobs, I believe, as well.
So voiceover work or reference tracking, or somebody might come up with a song that's already written and everything, and you just perform it. Your name is not necessarily going to be attached to it, but you're putting your touch, your talent, or on that, and you get paid. This is pretty dope. Like, damn, I
Yeah,
never
man.
heard of that. To be honest with you, I've never heard. I've heard of Sound Better, but that approach of how you said you got paid for performing a song about COVID, or a jingle about car leasing, or whatever case may be, that's internal from corporate. And as I'm moving forward, I'm also realizing that there's a lot of corporate money that can get paid to independent artists for certain things, and it can get crazy. What other platforms would you say that are crazy about this too?
Um, I put this one on my feed on my Instagram, but it's Song Finch. People will
Hmm.
pay you for custom songs. Maybe they want to write their niece a song for her birthday or
Hmm.
something like that. They'll do custom songs, and then one which is still going to be songs. People don't think of is marketing agencies. So marketing agencies that create ads for companies, they don't want to license music because they're using it commercially for just one specific thing. So they rather buy it outright. So they will pay, 600 bucks for 30 seconds. And that's personally a payment I got. Again, that was hired on Sound Better. But
Wow, like
yeah,
crazy.
but Song Pitch is a good one, and marketing agencies. Try to establish a relationship with them. You're going to look for marketing agencies that do a lot of video content, which is going to be most marketing agencies now. Or video agencies may even want some if they do like commercials or things along those lines.
Nice, nice. Well, even here, and by the way, something that I wanted to mention is you said something about work for hire, and that's a term that, in the music industry, you need to know about that one. Depending on what it is that you do, you don't always want to have work for hire in your agreement, because it's basically, work for hire is you getting paid for something, and you don't have anything to do with the back end of it in terms of royalties or anything of that nature. So I just wanted to put it out there so that you can know what work for hire is. So basically, you do this, you get paid, and that's it. Just like a musician may come to a studio session, they play an instrument or a part of the song, but if it's a work for hire where they don't get a percentage of them composing the song, or whatever case may be, if it's the agreement, then they have nothing to do with the back end publishing and all that good stuff. So just wanted to put it out there. But this is pretty dope, what you just shared, because somebody can come in for 30 seconds of their time and get paid 600 bucks. So imagine you do two of those in a day, and you already had over $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope. And I'm a digital marketer for this huge luxury jewelry brand here in Toronto. I did some radio ads. I composed the music, and I used my voice for the radio ad because they have a partnership with the Toronto Raptors, which is the basketball team here. And I also do, like, social media stuff for them, like all the music on their social media and all that good stuff. So that's like another extension of things that I'm doing with music and my passion of marketing. And that's like, I wouldn't say like it's not corporate money, because it's a family business of a friend that I have that I known for, over 20 years, and they're just in the jewelry business. And one day he's like, yo, I want to expand for social media and all that good stuff. So, well, how about you do the music so that I get copyright strikes on my stuff? And it kind of developed in this whole thing where I run kind of like the show when it comes to the digital marketing side for them. But it's just another, way to make your voice. Your voice can get you paid that way. But what you share right there is huge. What other platform would you recommend, or other places that you think artists can utilize to get these kind of gigs, to get paid with their voice in unusual ways?
Unusual ways. I'm not gonna talk about more custom song work. There's a couple other places you can get that done. That's gonna be on Fiverr and Upwork. But the most unusual way is going to be on like Amazon ACX, which is voiceover work for book narration. That pays about
Wow.
75. Yeah, you get about $75 an hour there. And many of you already have, and you already have the proper audio setup.
Right.
For that type of thing. And what you'll do is they'll give you the script, you'll record a demo, which is about 30 seconds, and the person hiring the voice actor will say, like, yes, no, you'll get the gig, you'll negotiate the rate. Standard rate's about 50 to 75 an hour, and books range from like 2 to 4 hours sometimes. I know a guy that did a 13-hour book, took him like 3 weeks, but that paid pretty well for him.
Dope.
So
Dope.
ACX, it's owned by Amazon. Sign up, make an account, and you can be a book narrator.
That's so amazing because, so many times artists gonna say, "Oh, I don't like my job." It's not even anything that has to do with music, or anything. But if it can be practiced for you, like you said earlier, if you put in your voice to work and you can turn it into gold, which is actually the theme of this podcast. So that's why, like, I'm excited. It's putting a smile on my face because we're sharing this for you guys. And it's great ideas for you to get some cash coming in, even though you may have a job right now and you looking for different ways to get some money
Yeah.
coming in that you can then reinvest in your music career so that you can continue to grow. And I think that's absolutely amazing. But anyways, we're not gonna make this too long. It's just information that we want to share with you so that you can run with. Where can they find you on social media? And then we have something that we want to share with them that's also pretty cool.
All right. Yeah, my Instagram is I am Big Soph. I am Big Soph. And then what we're going to share with you is the Indie Artist Summit. I talked in there about influencer marketing. It's pretty dope. I had a bunch of DMs after that summit saying, like, wow, I didn't know that about influencer marketing. So, and that's something that just like custom voice work, you can do yourself and, make very effective choices towards your career with it.
Perfect. So yeah, so recently, I hosted the Indie Artist Summit, which Big Soph was one of the speakers on the Music Marketing Day because it was a 3-day event, which helped the independent artist community increase their success and income, even though the world is talking about a recession. And for me, whenever the world is talking about something, it just creates an opportunity. So if you want to tune into the interview about influencer marketing that can help you with your marketing rollouts, with your songs that you're putting out there so that you can further push it out in an influential way, you want to go to the goldenvoicepodcast.com/Soph. We're going to make it super easy so that you can go there. So that's SOPH, right? So the goldenvoicepodcast.com/Soph, and you'll be able to go on there, get your encore replay because you can still get a chance to tune into the Indie Artist Summit if you didn't make it to the live session that happened recently, so that you can go through it in a limited time. Every day for 3 days, we get access to a set of revenue for 24 hours. They'll expire, and then you get a next set for the next day, and that's going to happen for 3 days in a row. But if you don't want it to expire, there's also an option there that's going to allow you to get unlimited access to the content so that you can go at your own pace, and that you can keep for you to go back and tune in again so that you can have the time. Like, you're not so limited with the amount of days that you have to go through that content. So yeah, so the goldenvoicepodcast.com/Soph. Go ahead and get your free encore ticket for the Indie Artist Summit. And Big Soph, thanks again.
Yeah, man.
And thanks for breaking the ice for the ladies that are going to come on the Golden Voice podcast. And that was super amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me, dogs. And yeah, just keep being amazing. I
I
love you.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Love, love, love. Same way, love, because
Yeah.
you're out there sharing value, sharing some content, some valuable information. And if you're listening or watching this, make sure that you go and follow I'm Big Soph on social media because her content is amazing. Her energy is great, and yeah, I was gonna bring people on
Yay.
here that's gonna be amazing and that are friends and that I'm growing with as well. So make sure that you follow the Golden Voice podcast wherever you're at as well. Follow, subscribe, and you'll get notifications for when we bring out some new episode on here as well. So I appreciate you, Big Soph, and yeah, looking
Hi,
forward to do
man.
more collaboration with you in the nearest future.